If you're taking the SAT soon, you need to lock in. Hi, my name is Jason, the founder of JZ Test Prep, and in today's video, we'll be going over 10 must-know SAT math questions. Question 1.
In the given equation, k is an integer constant. If the equation has no real solution, what is the least possible value of k? So, since we know that the equation has no real solution, we know that we have to use the discriminant, which is b squared minus 4ac. And since it has no real solution, it has to be less than 0. Now we can distribute the x in our equation. So we get kx squared minus 56x plus 16 is less than 0. Now we can plug our values into the discriminant formula. So we get negative 56 squared minus 4 times k times 16 is less than 0. So we get, now we can use our calculator, and we get 3,136 minus 64k is less than 0. So we get that 3,136 is less than 64k. So we get that k is greater than 49.
But since it asks for the least possible value of k, which is an integer, k has to equal 50. Now let's move on to question 2. In the given system of equations, h is a constant. If the system has no solution, what is the value of h? So when a system has no solution, it means that the lines represented by these two equations are parallel and never intersect. So to solve this question, we can start by rearranging the two equations. So on the top we get 4x minus 18y equals 5. And on the bottom, we get 4x minus hy equals negative 2. So looking at these two equations, we see that the x coefficients are the same. So in order to be parallel and have the same slope, the y coefficients have to be the same. So we know that h has to equal 18. Now let's move on to question 3. In the given equation, a and b are positive constants. The product of the solutions to the given equation is kab, where k is a constant. What is the value of k? So we're given the product of the solutions, which is kab, and we immediately think of the formula for the product of solutions, which is c over a. Now we can plug in to the formula. So the c coefficient is ab, and the a coefficient is 57. So now we can set kab equal to ab over 57, and we get that k is equal to 1 over 57. Moving on to question 4. If a is 2,403% of b plus c and b is 89% of c, what percent of b is a? The easiest way to solve this question is to plug in. So I'm going to start with c, and I'm going to set c equal to 100. And since we know that b is 89% of c, we know that b is equal to 89. And we know that a is 2,403% of b plus c, so we can rewrite a as equal to 24.03 times b plus c. And using our calculator and plugging in our values for b and c, we can get a is equal to 4,541.67. Now to find the percentage of a of b, we need to divide this value by b, and we get that a is equal to 51.03. But to convert it into a percentage, we need to multiply it by 100, and we get that a is equal to 5,103. Next, we have question number 5. If the equation a to the x minus b passes through the points c, 9 and 2c, 219, what could be a value of b? So the easiest way to solve this equation as well is to plug in. So for c, we're going to plug in the value of 1, and our new points will be 1, 9, and 2, 219. Now we can plug these points into our equation. So we get a minus b equals 9, and we get a squared minus b equals 219. Now we can isolate a and get a equals b plus 9. And then we can plug this a value into our bottom equation, and we get b plus 9 squared minus b equals 219. Now if we FOIL this out, we get b squared plus 18b plus 81 minus b minus 219 equals 0. And we can simplify that down into b squared plus 17b minus 138 equals 0. And when we factor that, we get b plus 23 times b minus 6. And we get our two b values as negative 23 and 6. And looking at our answer choices, A is the answer. If you're finding this video to be helpful, please drop a like on the video and subscribe. Thank you. Now let's move on to question 6. The graph of the given equation is a circle in the xy plane. The point AB lies on the circle. Which of the following is a possible value for A? From the equation, which is a circle formula, we know that the radius of the circle is 11. And we know that the center of the circle is at x equals -4 and y equals positive 19. We are asked to find a possible value for A at the point AB that lies on the circle. And since A is an x coordinate, we need to find a value between x equals -15 and positive 7 because our radius is 11. And our x coordinate at the center is -4. So if we look through our answer choices, we see that only B satisfies this. Moving on, we have question number 7. In the xy plane, a circle has a center C with coordinates hk, and points A and B lie on the circle. Point A has coordinates h plus 1 and k plus root 102, and ACB is a right angle. What is the length of AB? So to solve this, it's best if we draw a model to represent it. So we can draw a circle, and we can label our center point C with coordinates hk. And next we can plot point A, which has coordinates h plus 1 and k plus root 102. So from our center, we're going to go 1 to the right and up root 102, and we get our point A. Now point B could be in two places. It could be down to our right, which makes a right angle, or it could be up to our left, which makes a right angle. But I'm just going to use the left one for this example. Now, how do we find the length of line AB? First, we need to find the radius. So we can use the small triangle we drew with sides 1 and root 102, and we can use Pythagorean theorem to figure out the hypotenuse of the small triangle, and we get that it's equal to root 103. And we know that both sides are going to be the same because it makes a right angle. So both of our sides are going to be root 103. And now if we do Pythagorean theorem again, we can find the length of line AB, which is equal to root 206, which is our answer. Now let's move on to question number 8. The graph of y equals 2x squared plus bx plus c is shown, where b and c are constants. What is the value of bc? So on this graph, we're given 3 points. We have the vertex given to us, and we have the y-intercept. So to find c, which is the y-intercept, we can just plug in the point at the y-intercept. So we get -6 equals 0 plus 0 plus c. So we get that c is equal to -6. So to find b, we can use the formula -b over 2a, which is the x-coordinate of the vertex, and we know that's -1. So then we can plug in our a value in the equation, which is 2, and we get -b over 4 is equal to -1. So we get that b is equal to 4. Now we can multiply 4 times -6 and get -24 is equal to bc. Moving on to question 9. The function f is defined by the given equation. The equation can be rewritten as f of x equals 1 plus p over 100 raised to x, where p is a constant. Which of the following is closest to the value of p? First, we can rewrite f of x as equal to f of x equals 1.84 raised to 1/4 times x. And then we can distribute the 1/4 power to 1.84, and we get that 1.16467 raised to x. Now we see that this is similar to the 1 plus p over 100 raised to x. So we can subtract 1 and we get p over 100 is equal to 0.16467. And we find that p is equal to 16.467, which is closest to 16. Moving on, we have question 10.
Question 15 asks, in the given equation, p is a positive constant. If the sum of the solutions is 20/3, what is the value of p? Since we see the sum of solutions, we know that we can use the formula negative b over a. We will use that later on. First, you need to understand what the solution to an equation is. It is the value of x that makes the equation equal to 0. So we can set 3x plus p equal to 0, and we get that x equals negative p over 3. Next, we can set 5x squared minus 45 equal to 0, and we get two solutions. We get positive 3 and negative 3, but when we add these two together, we get 0, which is our sum of solutions. Next, we can set 2x squared minus 16x plus 6p equal to 0. But now we can use the formula negative b over a to get the sum of solutions. And we get negative or positive 16 over 2 equals 8. Now, to figure out the value of p, we're given the sum of solutions to the equation, which is 20/3. So we can add 8 plus negative p over 3 and set that equal to 20/3. And we get that p is equal to 4.
Thank you for watching. If you found this video to be helpful, please subscribe and like this video. Thank you.